Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, and today we are talking about pesticides.
Any comments?
No.
How are you?
They suck.
How you feel about the project?
As you see the camera lens slowly zoom in.
How do you feel about the project?
It's great.
How about you, Sarah?
Pretty good.
Alright.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, let me see your camera for a second.
Okay, why?
Let me see.
What are you doing?
Really do How do you feel about the project?
Oh god.
As you walk off screen. Okay, bye!
No, that's my camera.
Do either of y'all know what pesticides or bioaccumulation is?
It's safe to say we both do.
Can y'all describe what they are?
Pesticides are chemicals used can kill bugs or bacteria or fungus
Or plants.
or plants.
Herbicides and pesticides. Bioaccumulation is when those chemicals get in the tissue of something low down on the food chain, and as it is eaten by successively higher things up the food chain, the concentration in there, usually in that fat, increases.
The interview with the two people we did over there, their names were Akira Stift. She has a Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Agriculture from the University of Maine, and Elizabeth Bannister, who was a gardener, and she was a major in gardening and livestock manager.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they
Like-
do a lot of pesticides.
Yeah, we were like at the park and they were doing budgeting on goat stuff, and I can't believe we actually ran into that.
That was like, wow.
Wow, we actually found something, or I mean someone good to interview. Like that's
Because of
crazy.
how much pesticides we use, there's literally no way to avoid having pesticides. Yeah. Have you thought about that? Like,
Like,
like you know, like, do you ever have those times where you're just laying in bed and you can't fall asleep and then your mind just drifts off? Mm-hmm. That's how it was. And so, I was thinking, like, my mom thought, like, the reason that my chicken's eggs are so thin is because of lack of nutrients, a certain nutrient. And I mean, that makes sense. But it could be pesticides because bugs come up from, like, these other farms that actually use pesticides and then come up to my mountain. So, you know what I mean? Okay. If we ate one of my chickens, we'd probably still get pesticides, and we'd get more pesticides because of the whole toxin and bioaccumulation.
But it's okay, because chicken tastes good.
It does taste good, but we're still getting pesticides. There's literally no way.
See that puppet right there? Do you know what that is?
Oh!
And then there's one right there, but it has 3 claws. Right there.
wait, what?
There's a puppet right there, and there's one that has 3 claws. Right
Oh, the print.
there. Are you good with stuff like that? Like, do you know what it is?
I mean, it could be either
That looks like a home over there.
maybe a coyote,
Over there. That looks like a home.
because there are coyotes around here. Like in the general vicinity. Wait. Coyotes can have pesticides too.
Everything has pesticides.
Like, there is literally no way to avoid pesticides now. Like, we'd have to stop using pesticides completely right now in order to, like, maybe 20 years down for us
Even
to
then,
have
there's
no
still be pesticides.
Yeah, there's still
because
gonna be,
the
like,
insects would give it to their young.
We've poisoned our planet.
The insects would give it to their young, and then that would give it to the animals, and then we would give the pesticides to our young, and
Because of
generations
Because
ahead.
of bioaccumulation.
Yeah, and generations ahead, the young will be deformed because of the pesticides.
Do you know how pesticides and bioaccumulation affects the environment?
With bioaccumulation, due to the pesticides being built up from the insects that eat the plants that are given the pesticides will increase as like a poison per se for the predators of the food chain. and will cause deaths in those predators.
Do you have any way to prevent them from being used?
I would definitely say pesticide prevention and restrictions on certain pesticides, but also one thing that I think could help would be GMOs, genetically modified organisms. They could be resistant to those insects or the other predators, so the predator will not eat those insects and therefore get sick from those pesticides.
Alright, we're done.
How do you stop it?
How do you stop it?
And your camera's about to
Put
die.
GMOs in there. That's one thing I've learned.
Okay, guys, you're gonna die.
Hello.
Don't kill us.
Hello.
Pesticides will kill you first. If we want to find out where this comes from,
Yeah,
it comes
that way.
it comes from the road.
The sewage.
Yeah.
Remember the sewer pipes we were at yesterday?
Oh my gosh. The sewer is full of pesticides. We're drinking pesticides if we're not What if it gets past the filters too? Oh my gosh. This is a sewage thingy. This is a sewage cap. You want to know what that means? Sewage. Pesticides. Because this is where all our trash goes and all our crap. It's another sewage cap.
Sewage.
Yep, sewage means pesticides because we really need to look it up. Do pesticides get crapped out or do they literally just stay in us and build up?
Do you know what pesticides and bioaccumulation are?
Yes, pesticides, not necessarily always a chemical pesticide. Pesticides can be lots of different things. We try to do as many things as we can before we spray chemical pesticides, but chemical pesticides are something that we have to use in order to have production agriculture, or even in your own home to get rid of insects that you don't want in your home. It can accumulate after time if you're not careful. Following the label is always the best way to keep down from having accumulation to happen.
Do you know ways they are affecting the environment, both positively and negatively?
Some pesticides are natural. We have pesticides that come from chrysanthemums. So if you like having flowers in your house, that can be a pesticide itself. We've extracted pesticides from other plants. So not all pesticides should be thought of as a negative chemical that can harm the environment. But we do have to watch out when we do spray chemical insecticides and other pesticides, because there are some that are rated more dangerous. You usually have signal words on the pesticides that say caution, warning, and danger, and so you follow that to understand which ones are going to be more dangerous for the environment, and just less use is better. The first step should always be to try to solve the insect or the fungus or disease problem, try to solve it with a more natural aspect. It can't even be just picking off the insects off the plants or trying to cut out the disease part of a plant. But when those aren't enough, then you have to go and you have to use chemical pesticides. They can build up sometimes in the environment. That's why like DDT has been taken off the market.
And do you know ways to prevent them from affecting the environment?
We affect the environment in so many ways. Pesticides is just one of them. Cutting down trees and building houses, that's just as bad in the scheme of things as far as destroying wildlife habitat as chemical pesticides. I think a lot of times people just automatically assume chemical pesticides are causing the majority of damage to the earth, but there's plenty of other things we need to look at too. But to try to cut down on what we do is really trying to come in and do as many other options as possible. The GMOs, people think they're bad, but they actually cut down the amount of pesticides that we're using. So there are options that we have, but people are against GMOs sometimes. So you have to pick what you think is best for your situation, and then try not to use it except by the label.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey Obi-Wan, did you know you're affected by pesticides? That's my pants. Did you know you're affected by pesticides, Finn? Maul, did you know? I'm guessing not. Hey! Chicken! Chicken, don't run away from the truth! Did you know you're affected by pesticides? You eat bugs that have been affected by pesticides? Did you know that? Did you? Okay. Hi, Carmel! Nope. Okay. Hey, Ray, did you know you're affected by pesticides? She doesn't care either. Hey, Mr. Moo! Mr. Moo! Did you know you're affected by pesticides? They don't care.